BassResinator here. I was recently contacted by a friend who does baking and decorating and things, and she says, "Can you make me a mom set of resin pieces with flowers?" So I got my flower, and I said, "Well, what color?" She goes, "Pinks and whites." So I got those. This is not really a pale pink; it's more like a magenta, but it's the closest I had that'll fit in here. Because these are the 2.5 inch molds, and they're about. She didn't want because I've got some 4 inch ones, and she goes, "No, that's too big for what she had planned." I keep seeing stuff up through there, and it makes me think the mold is dirty, and it's not. So I'm going to pour a little bit of resin in here, and then I'm going to dip the flowers and set them on top of the resin. I'm not going to fill it all the way up. This is going to be a two-step thingy, but I want to dip these flowers in the resin so that they don't get bubbles on the underside where I won't be able to see them. So I want these to be able to be seen from both sides. So that's what I'm doing here. Using Bondcrafter art resin 1:1. I said my O is not a regular O in my alphabet molds. It's a heart. She goes, "Oh, that's perfect," because it's getting close to Mother's Day. So I said, "Well, good," because that's all I've got. Okay, now let me try and pinch that a little bit so that I can get. I want to go up about halfway. And I got some bubbles hanging around on the edge, which is normal. Wherever there's a 90-degree angle in molds, boy, they really like grabbing a hold of a little pocket of air. I'm gonna get about the same. Is that about? Yeah, that's just exactly the same. Okay, so I will definitely put this other resin to use for something else. Let me get those bubblies. It's bubbly, it's bubbly, it's bubbly in my soul. One right down in there. Corner, and in this corner we have Rocky, and in the red corner I was just watching a video on boxing, and so that's why that came up. A little, I don't know what floating right there. Okay. Big bubble there, medium-sized bubble there, and you touch them and then they break into tiny bubbles in the resin. Anybody remember Don Ho? Never been to Hawaii. I've got a former student that just started a job down there. She's loving it, and that's her dream. She's always wanted to live there. And, well, it's coming true now. Way to go, Jasmine. I don't know much about the islands other than what I've seen on Hawaii Five-0 and different TV shows of that sort. So I can't tell you where she lives other than the state of Hawaii. But if you go to Hawaii and you go to a Denny's, you might end up at her restaurant. Okay, now to the dip. Now this, I only have one M, so I'm gonna have to do another one of these. So I've got 3 of these little white flowers like this. So one will go in the O, right there. The other one will go in the smaller part of the M, right there. Get one of these. I don't even know what kind of flower this is, but they're little bit of living space. There we go. Now get some pink or magenta, whatever you want to call them. Isabel, I hope this is gonna work for you. Oh, I forgot to get one of these white cluster things. Oh. There we go. Now I'm going to wipe off these and then spray some alcohol on them so they don't stay any sticky. But I'll just wait now, and I'll come back to you when it's time to do the next part of this. Okay, bye. Okay, these cured up enough to where it leaves a little peak. So if you're into baking and you're making candy, it's what they call a soft peak. So it stays up a little bit. I put in some gold leaf that I thought would look really pretty in between the flowers. So I'll make sure to do that on the other M after these cure up. But I want that resin to be a little bit tacky so that when I pour this next level, or this next, next level, when I pour this in, it will adhere to it very well, but it'll also reduce the lines on the side, because sometimes when you pour in a couple layers, you'll get a line across the finished product where if it's cured all the way, it leaves that mark, and I don't want to have that. Okay, and I want this a little bit what we call domed, so that it won't leave a sharp edge when I pull it out. Now to the O, which is a heart. Oh. just a little bit more on this one, because as resin cures, it shrinks and it'll pull away from the edge and leave sharp edges. And so if I can dome it, which is what I'm doing here, got one drop hanging on there. If I can dome it, then it will reduce the raggedy edge, because as it cures, it will. There's a bubble hanging out there, so I'm concentrating on getting that bubble out. Get out of there. Oh, there's one over here too. I don't see any on this side. Oh, right there. Okay. Now let me look in this way. Yep, there's one right there. Get out of there. I tell you, those little flowers look really pretty in here. Okay, I think I have my bubbles out. Good. Okay, I'll come back to you when these are cured up. And then show you how I unmold it, and then I won't have to show you the next M that I have to do, because it's the same as this. So I will show you how I unmold these, and then I'll show you the final product with all of them together, and how I put the drill a spot in there for the toothpicks to hold on. I will show you that process. But anyway, until then, I will see you. Bye. Okay, these cured up. I was able to make another M. Came out really nicely. The O. But when I set it down, it goes on its side. And I asked the client who ordered these, do you want it like this? Let me try this. Get those things out the way. Do you want it like this, or do you want it sideways? And she says, sideways, that looks cool. And so I've got Mom, and she wanted some type of pick inserted in it, so that she could, you know, that green foam that florists use to stick the stems of the flowers and stuff and foliage so that they can arrange it the way they want. She wants to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a little hole, and I'm going to have out, I'm going to try and get as much of this as possible, because these are not the lightest things. Maybe 2 ounces each. But if you have that much weight, if you don't have it stuck down into the foam well enough, it's going to fall off, and you don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, see on toothpicks, they're tapered at the end, or at least these are, and I'm going to cut where that taper is off. And now it's just and I have no idea where that little piece went. I'll find it one of these days. I'll be walking around and step on it barefoot, and I'm like, ah! That one I caught. I'll do that with the same thing on this one. There we go. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever tapped with screws. You want to make sure that the hole that you are drilling is not too big nor too small. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you how to do this. I learned this a long time ago from a guy who was working with a bunch of us kids in a vacation Bible school. Put the drill bit and if you can't see, I can see just a little bit, but I think this one will be too big. Well, that may be just right. Okay, so it's the same size as this. So now I'm going to use my Dremel, and I don't need to go in very far because I'm going to, so this is a 3/32 size drill. And that's in SAE standard, not not the metric. Okay, so I think I need to go in about the length of the part that I cut off. And on the M, I'm going to go right in the middle of the middle spot of the drop. That was not good. I should have started it. If I had a drill press, that would be perfect. Okay, that's all I needed to go in on that one. That's about the same distance. No, I need a little bit more. Okay, and then this one, right in the middle of that gold leaf. Okay, now I have a mess to clean up. But I'll be right back. I'm going to clean that stuff. Don't throw away your envelopes that come from Amazon. They make really good barriers for covering up messy things like this. Okay, I'm going to use some UV resin from Resin Rockers. It very hard and it cures quickly. Sorry about that. And there we have the M on a pick, so it can be stuck down into either with flowers or whatever the arrangement situation is that my client is going to use. So let's do the O. I'm pushing down on it with my finger to make sure it doesn't try to ride up, because sometimes if you don't push it all the way down in, it's not gonna get the foothold it needs. So that's in as far or as deep as the hole is now. Whereas if you just put glue in and then you put in your toothpick, in this case, the glue may not allow the stick to go all the way down. So, and there we have. And if you look on the O, you can see it. You can see the stick all the way in. So on the M, you can't, because that flower's in the way. And we got the same flower on this one, because I tried to match them up as best I could. And it doesn't take much of this UV to go down in there to fill that void. It's crazy how quickly this UV resin cures. The fastest UV resin that I know of, curing wise, is the Let's Resin UV resin for bonding. In 5 seconds, and it's solid. But this is not very far off, because it's, I mean, I could feel it because when I was holding it in like this, I could feel it moving around, and then when I put the light on it, it stopped moving. So, okay, so we now have Mom. Let me get things out of the way so you can see, and I got that heavy Dremel on there, making it tough. Tough for that paper to move around. And there we go. Dun 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 dun. Let me move it over. I can't wait for that lady to come by and pick them up, and then see what she does with it. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more so you can have a good view. Maybe if I zoom in just a touch more, I can get that paper out the way. No. There. Okay. That came out very nicely. Okay, so Isabel, I hope you like these, and I hope it makes your arrangement of whatever it is you are doing look amazing, and just in time for Mother's Day. If you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not, consider it. It's free. All you have to do is go down to the bottom. Where's my hand? There it is. I can see the shadow. Go down there underneath the video screen, and there should be a button that says subscribe. And right next to it, there's another little button that has the icon of a bell. And if you click on that, after you have subscribed, then anytime I do something new, you'll be notified. And we are doing channel memberships now, so if you would like to support this channel in a monetary way, it does not cost somebody said it costs about as much as coffee. No, it costs a lot less than coffee. If you go to one of these coffee places, Dutch Bros, Starbucks, or any of the other ones, you can't get a coffee for $1.99. Now maybe McDonald's you can, but so $1.99 is level 1. That's the Bluebonnet level. $2.99 is level 2, which is the Indian paintbrush. So if you would like to support the channel, that's another way. That's a way you can do it. I appreciate you for watching and being here for this Mother's Day preview. And Isabel, I hope you like it. I'm going to not have any stills afterwards because I don't have anything to. I don't have any of that green foam. Oh, wait. I don't even know what this styrofoam was, but we can, let's see if I can, okay, the O right in the middle. And then an M at an angle. Whoa, that's kind of heavy now. And the other M at the other angle. That went in too far. Let's try that again. And there we go. Mom. Well, let me back up now so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, it'll work. Don't have the green foam, green foam, but I do have styrofoam. So, yeah. The concept works. And so maybe I will take a still and have them poked into the styrofoam. I will. Okay, we'll see you for the next one. Bye.